How Gerard Butler shaped Den of Thieves 2's story explained by director. Den of Thieves 2. Pantera director Christian Gudegast explains how franchise star Gerard Butler shaped the story for the upcoming sequel. The upcoming Den of Thieves sequel takes place right after the events of the 2018 original, with Sheriff Big Nick Butler going up against Donnie Wilson, O'Shea Jackson Jr., as the ex-Marine prepares a heist of the World Diamond Center. This time, however, Nick forces Donnie to integrate him into the job so he can take down the new group of criminals from the inside. Much like the first installment, the sequel is written by Gudegast. Speaking with Screen Rant about the film, Gudegast explained how he and Butler worked closely in developing Den of Thieves 2, Pantera's story. The director explained how easy it was to write because of his familiarity with the actor and his character, indicating it's much more calibrated to him because of the existing installment. He ended by calling it a wonderful process, signifying just how smoothly the screenplay went. Check out what Gudegast had to say below. The collaboration is fundamental to this franchise. He and I have a shorthand. We work very, very closely together, and he's almost like an extension of me in that sense. I write scenes, I send them to him, we kind of play with them, put them on their feet, go over the dialogue, and find little bits of magic. When you know what actor's going to play a certain role when you're writing, it makes it so much easier, as opposed to writing a spec script, where you have no idea who's going to end up playing the role. When you know who they are, it completely changes the process. It becomes much more calibrated to them and much more specific. It's kind of liberating because you know exactly what you can and can't do and who they are. You understand the characters much better because you know who's going to be bringing life into them. It's a super healthy, wonderful process. Den of Thieves 2. Pantera is inspired by the real-life Antwerp diamond heist that took place in Belgium during the winter of 2003. What Gudegast's statement means for Butler's involvement behind Den of Thieves 2. Butler's experience in the previous film means his role on the cast of Den of Thieves 2 was already properly defined, long before the movie went into production. Nick is clearly driven by his quest to stop Donnie once and for all, even though integrating himself into the latest heist is a huge risk. However, Gudegast clarifying the lead actor's involvement in the writing department shows how this was a necessary step to increase tensions as the heist plays out. With the ending of Den of Thieves being a perfect lead-in to the new installment, the larger role its star has behind the scenes likely helped define where his character is going to go next. Since Nick and Donnie's bad blood will be a core focus of what comes next, their interactions with one another will serve as the basis for how the rest of the storyline plays out. It also means different themes could be explored in the movie through revenge, something that can make the lead character even more dynamic as he risks everything to take down his old foe. Our take on Butler's involvement in crafting Den of Thieves 2's story. Since Butler's protagonist will have a very different role going into Den of Thieves 2, the star's input may have been crucial to defining this next chapter in the now ongoing story. Even though it's unclear what will happen during the heist, and whatever aftermath unfolds, the lengths Nick is willing to go indicates an even darker side of his character could be coming out in the sequel. With the lead actors take an important part of the story now, it seems a more fortified arc is in store for the sheriff. Gudegast previously confirmed plans to turn Den of Thieves into a franchise.